I got my niece the loudest toy possible for Christmas. Hi Reddit. For context, you can look in my post history. I posted an AITA last year about my family being really emotionally neglectful for my whole life and doing stuff like always forgetting my birthday or excluding me from family celebrations like Christmas, weddings, etc. It's always a bummer, and last year I really broke down about it, but I've been to a lot of therapy in the past 12 months and I feel okay with it this year. That being said, my older brother has a 5-year-old daughter who is the only kid in the whole family other than some distant cousins. She's the first grandkid on both her mom's side and her dad's side, so she's the center of pretty much everyone's world. She's super cute and funny and energetic, and she's one of the few people in my family who I actually have a good relationship with. She and I have a particularly close bond, and I know it bothers my mom that she likes me more than her. Anyway, she's an only child, so she gets spoiled by everyone, but since I'm the coolest and ever, I spoil her more than most. I don't see her a lot because I live across the country, and also my family sucks, so I usually mail her a big box of gifts every Christmas and then again for her birthday. This year, I once again wasn't invited to spend the holiday with my family, but that's not super surprising, so as per usual, I found her a handful of gifts and just mailed off the box today. Now, I love my niece with my whole heart. She's the best kid in the entire world, but she's still a kid, and like most kids, she can be super annoying. This is totally normal and not a criticism of her at all. It's just a fact of life that children can be irksome. And being that I'm not invited to Christmas again, I figured I don't have to worry about maintaining a peaceful holiday for my family. I also can get a little bit of revenge for all the holidays and birthdays that they've ruined for me in the past. My niece is super into K-pop demon hunters right now and likes to sing all the songs and dress up like the characters. Since she's into playing pop star, one of the gifts I got her is this super cute Sing and Bling karaoke microphone that comes with rhinestones so you can bedazzle it and can use it with built-in speakers or connect it to Bluetooth. It is a real karaoke mic, not a super good one or anything, but it's not a kid's pretend microphone and has decent reviews for its loudness, and I know she's going to love it. She already never stops singing, and the moment I saw it in the store, it's like I had this moment of divine inspiration. Since I was a kid, my family has had a rule that they'll never tell any of the kids to stop singing because my grandparents used to tell my mom not to sing, and to this day, she has a chip on her shoulder about it. When I was a kid, my older brother went through a beatboxing phase, and no one was allowed to tell him to stop. It was one of the most annoying 2 months of my life. Even me, the family's black sheep and lifetime scapegoat, was never once told to stop singing. Everyone loves my niece. I know for sure no one is going to tell her to stop or take the mic away from her. I know it in my bones. It's super cold and snowy where my family are right now. Like, roads aren't bad because there are no roads, kind of snowy, and they're all sequestered together in a fairly small house. Their holiday is about to become a horror movie to the soundtrack of K-pop demon hunters. They are trapped inside, and there will be no escape from the world's tiniest pop star. She's going to terrorize the entire household. Every time I think about it, I start giggling like a mad scientist. I wish I could be there to see their faces, but of course the whole point is that I'm not there, and I don't have to suffer with the rest of them. Of course, realistically, if it gets bad, someone can just take the batteries out of the mic, but I'm guessing at least for the first few days, she's going to be belting her little lungs out at full volume. I'm sure it won't actually ruin the holiday, but it will definitely ensure that it isn't a peaceful one. I hope my niece has the best Christmas ever. TLDR, my family didn't invite me to Christmas, so I bought my 5-year-old niece a karaoke microphone so she can terrorize their entire holiday.
Moving on to our next story.
Satisfying resignation. When I was a student, I had a few bad casual jobs. One of them was arriving at 5 a.m. to sort out the deliveries made to a paper shop from different printers. I started the day by parking at the owner's house and picking up the van. I'd drive to the shop and I'd have to sort out about 500 to 700 different papers and anywhere up to 300 different magazines. There was generally a 3-page list I had to work through. In a short time, I'd have to wrap the personal deliveries in cling wrap and put the orders for corner stores into their own separate boxes so I could just drive around, reading my list and toss them out the van window onto lawns, or deliver to shops in the shortest time possible. It wasn't a great job, and you couldn't make errors or there would be angry phone calls from shops or people who miss out on an order. The owner's shop always had a certain number of pickups, and he liked to have about 50 left over for casual walk-in customers. I had to deliver to shops and direct to people. By 6 a.m. I had to deliver to shops, then drive around for about 4 hours throwing the rest on lawns. On top of this, if the printers were short on what they delivered, which was pretty common, I'd have to short short the corner stores on their deliveries and cop their abuse so there were enough papers. For the owner's shop, he never missed out on having enough stock. Not an appealing job even if the job description was all you looked at, but the owner underpaid me by about 2 hours for every shift. I only did this on Saturdays and Sundays, but I requested that he pay me correctly for about 15 weeks running. He slowly increased the amount I was shorted and would then pay me about 1/3 of the money I was shorted by every few weeks. I wasn't stupid, but I am slow to get angry. Then he started telling me that I had to wash the van out of my pocket before dropping it at his house because he was trying to sell it. It was starting to need frequent repairs. I asked him to leave the money there for the car wash, and he told me to do it out of my own pocket, and he'd add the car wash fees to my pay. I didn't wash that van once as I doubted I'd get reimbursed. I was already pretty angry about the money I was missing. He rang me after I left Sunday and told me off about the van not being washed. That was the last straw for me, but I didn't quite on the spot. I fumed about it for a day or two before making my plan. The following Saturday I had a little sleep in. Instead of getting there when I was supposed to, I lay in bed. When the first of the corner stores reported that they were missing their deliveries, the owner rang me and asked did I know what time it was. Yes. Did I know what day it was? Yes, it's Saturday. Then why wasn't I at work? Because I'm not coming. You've ripped me off in my pay almost every week since I started. Then he asked who's going to do the deliveries. Why the fuck should I care? Am I coming in tomorrow? Absolutely not. I gave him about 10 seconds to process it, then told him to delete my number. I later did the corner store loop and explained to them that he would often short them on their orders to ensure he wasn't low on stock, as well as not paying his delivery drivers, and advised them to hit up one of the other paper shops to arrange to get their orders through them. About 4 months later, the shop closed permanently. I hope that I'd played a small part in that by letting his reputation get ruined, but that's the most satisfying way I've ever left a job. Relevant comments: you should know that if you kept track of the shorted hours, you could go to a labor lawyer. They love this stuff. You should find out if you still have recourse. Another one says, I just looked into wage theft for a friend last night. Her employer is docking 30 minutes for lunch every day from every employee, and yet no one has time to actually take one because they're so understaffed. I learned that there's often a statute of limitations. In my area, it's 3 years.
Support me by following and subscribing. Thanks.